Shannon Kepler works with TPD's Police Academy. We stopped there for comment today but did not get one. Gina Kepler is a member of the Gilcrease Division of the Tulsa Police Department as a patrol officer. No one there would comment either.
You're watching the most shocking and informative LRJ TV News.
Hello, I'm LRJ from LRJ TV. A young man was gunned down and killed in the streets by a police officer, and his wife was also a police officer who did nothing about this. I'm going to pause this video and I want you to look at this young man whose life was taken from him. Let's not waste no more time. Let's go into the story. Let's go.
Actually, her boyfriend's house. She says they were only outside for a few minutes before her father showed up, and that's when she says everything changed.
He was my everything.
Lisa Kepler says she met 19-year-old Jeremy Lake a week ago after her parents kicked her out and dropped her off at a homeless shelter. She says the two of them shared an instant connection.
He was just really sweet and caring, and he didn't pretend.
The 18-year-old tells us Jeremy's family let her live with them. And that's where she says she was on Tuesday night, when she says her father, Tulsa police officer Shannon Kepler, showed up.
He asked me what the hell I was doing out here, as if he didn't know that he kicked me out a week ago. There was no argument. I walked away and Jeremy tried to introduce himself, and my dad shot him. God.
Police arrested Lisa's father for Jeremy's murder. They arrested her mother, Gina, for accessory after the fact.
They're both police officers. I don't know what could have led them to do this. They didn't even know Jeremy.
Jeremy's family describes him as a man who never met a stranger, who dreamed of one day joining the Army.
Jeremy was very well loved. He had a lot of compassion for the people on the streets.
Now those who loved him mourn his loss.
Shannon and Gina Kepler joined the Tulsa Police Department 24 years ago next week. Right now, though, they're being held here at the Tulsa County Jail without bond following the murder of 19-year-old Jeremy Lake. Last night in the 200 block of North Maple Street, Shannon Kepler pulled up alongside Jeremy Lake in a black Suburban, according to police reports. Shannon began to argue with Lake, then fired several shots and drove off, reports say. Lake pronounced dead by emergency crews, and hours later, Shannon and then Gina Kepler turned themselves in at TPD headquarters. A spokeswoman with the Tulsa Police Department says this came as a surprise to officers, two department veterans as suspects in a murder investigation.
Nobody is more shocked than we are.
Now, excuse me, what you're about to hear will be very disturbing to you, how this woman talks about these police and brotherhood and sisterhood. She ought to be fired. Because when an officer shoot and gun down an innocent person, I don't give a hell about your brotherhood and your sisterhood. Cops have been crossing the lines and they have to investigate their own. That's proof that they do not investigate cops when they cross the line. Let's go back into her crap. Let's go.
You know, our department is, we have a brotherhood here, a sisterhood, and this is very shocking to us as well. And our detectives that have to investigate this, our own officers had to go out and arrest their friends.
Shannon Kepler, seen here from the 2 News archives, works at the Police Academy, but is now under arrest for first-degree murder. Gina Kepler, a patrol officer in the Gilcrease Division, under arrest as an accessory. And the department says both officers are being dealt with the same way as any other suspects.
This was something, these officers were not on duty, and this was something that was occurring in their personal life. So we're investigating this like any other homicide that occurs within the city.
Now, 2 News today reached out to family and co-workers of both Shannon and Gina Kepler. No one wanted to comment. Tonight, I also talked to a lawyer representing Shannon Kepler. He said he will not be speaking on behalf of his client until at least tomorrow.
When I first heard this story, I was reading it and I said, Shannon. I'm like, my goodness, this is a husband and wife. I'm like, okay, I don't know names like that. Because I went to school, with a guy whose name was Lakeisha. So them just names. But I was raised in the hood, and when somebody do something like that, we usually call that person a punk. You know, you in the neighborhood and you get mad at your daughter because she's in that neighborhood. You confront her. She's like, okay, whatever, and walk away. He said, hey, I'm her boyfriend, and you shoot and kill him. Bruh, you ain't nothing but you a punk. And that is what most cops are. A bunch of Now, ooh, LRJ, I can't believe you said that. Well, what else you want me to say? Here you is a grown man in a vehicle, and a young man tell you I'm her boyfriend, or even if he cussed you out or told you to go F yourself, or whatever the case may be, all you had to do was to drive away. But because you a cop, ain't nobody gonna talk to me any kind of way, and shot and killed him. And a little wife with her old ugly ass didn't do nothing about it. That's funny, because usually when cops break the law, other cops don't do nothing about it. I'm LRJ. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Why? Because you be glad you did. I love you all.